Hi, I'm Linwood Barclay. I'm the author of No Time for Goodbye, which is the story of Cynthia Archer, who is now a woman in her I guess, late 30s. She has a 8-year-old daughter, and she's married to a fellow named Terry, who is a high school English teacher. But 25 years ago, when she was 14, one night she came home after a lot of rather bad behavior and some underage drinking and seeing a boy that her parents didn't want her to see. And she has quite a row with her family, and she ends up sort of falling into a very kind of deep coma that evening. When she wakes up in the morning, there's nobody there. Her parents and her brother vanish into the night, not to be seen again. And Cynthia is faced with a real kind of basic question, which is, did something horrible happen to my parents? Were they killed? Were they the victims of a serial killer passing through town? Or did they decide to leave and not take her with them? And the question then is for her is, which would be worse? Would it be worse to find out your parents or your family was slain, or worse to find out that they were alive but didn't want to take you with them? I tried to root the story in sort of very everyday, sort of common things that we all know. And it's the smallest things that intrigue me. It's the letter that ends up being delivered to the wrong house, or it's that upturned knife in a dishwasher in the cutlery tray that really should be pointed down because that could lead to catastrophe. It's those little things that tend to obsess me personally, and that I find interesting. I like seeing these perils in in the mundane and sort of the everyday. I do all of my writing in. I have a room set aside in the house, what we call a study. And it's had it sort of fixed up a few years ago. It's a wonderful place to work for me because not just is it, I have lots of space and I can sort of spread out my stuff, but my wall is covered with, my father was a commercial artist who back in the 1950s and 60s, when all of the ads in Life and Look and Saturday Evening Post magazine were all illustrations for, like, car ads were all illustrations and not photography. He drew those. So I have all of these framed, original, sort of airbrushed, beautiful pictures of 1950s cars all around me to work with, and all my ridiculous toys that I still collect as an adult. But I'm a fairly disciplined kind of worker, and I usually start in first thing in the morning. I mean, I look at the morning newspapers that come to our door and looking for ideas, either for books or for columns. And if I'm in the thick of a book and it's going really well, I'll spend much more time on it in a day than perhaps I should. And we'll just keep working on into the late afternoon or early evening. If it's not a period where I'm in the thick of one, then I'm still probably plotting things out or so forth, or I'll just turn on the Nintendo Wii system and bowl. The new book is called Too Close to Home. And the premise behind that is, every once in a while we'll see some terrible story in the news about an entire family that's been slain. Everybody in one house has been wiped out. And I was thinking, what's it like to live in the house next door to that house? I mean, is it like lightning striking? If all of your neighbors are killed, does that mean that you're safer than you've ever been? Because it surely couldn't happen to two houses next to each other. And so it's about, that family that lives next door. Why was everybody next door killed? Are we safe? Should we move? And what if, in the course of that story, you were to learn that the killers who went next door, that they had gone to the wrong house?